Hey YouTube, figured it's been a bit and I better come on and do a video about all the updates we've been doing. First things first, so you got to see the newest additions to our family. Check this out. Are our 12 barnyard mixed chickens. They're adorable. Silver absolutely loves them. This is their makeshift summer coop for the moment, and I built them a nice big run, and we plan to build them an insulated coop out of pallets before it gets too cold for winter. And today, what we've been working on is I moved everything out of the shed, and I moved everything away from the trailer while Shane and Silver were in town getting the last bits and pieces we need to set up our wind turbine, because we are going to move the trailer back a few feet so that it lines up with our well. Because when it comes time to build our enclosed porch, we want our enclosed porch to sit over top of it with a hatch to access it for filling our water. What we've been doing to fill water is we have, it's a really cheap little sub pump basically. And we have it attached to a hose. We tested our water, it's all good to go for drinking. Our solar power can run this pump. And so when our reservoir is empty, we just run this hose into the trailer, fill it up, and we have fresh water from our well. So no more hauling water. And we're really, really excited about that because it's just one last thing to do. Like I said, I moved everything out of the way for when we move back. I had to clear out the entire shed. When Shane gets back, he's going to move some of the heavy stuff, and he's going to help me move the table. And we're going to move the shed so that he can hook up to the trailer to move it back. And then we're going to reset everything back up. We still have so much stuff, like way more stuff than we should for people who live in a small trailer. However, I wanted to show you guys the wind turbine. It's a pain in the ass to set up. I'm kind of not impressed. We had to drill holes that were already drilled, like the hardware. Oh, sorry, I can't see here. The hardware didn't fit through anything. And so it was just kind of a pain in the ass to set up. So that was just the stand. And then same with the actual turbine itself. Like, stuff just didn't fit, so it scratched up some of the paint. And putting it together was just, the holes didn't line up, so it made it really difficult. However, I'm hoping it works. We'll see. I got it from Tessup. I've only ever seen, I think, 1 or 2 bad reviews, and the rest have been amazing. So once we get it hooked up today, because we're due for rain for the next like 7 days, I'm hoping we won't have to run the generator during those dark, cloudy days, because we will have the wind turbine charging our batteries instead of the solar panels, because it just won't be as much sun. I figured I would show you guys my garden because I'm super proud of it. Kind of looks like a little bit of a dirt pit. I feel like I'm super far behind in the growing season, but apparently that's pretty normal for out here. I mean, we're still getting frost warnings every now and again, so my cucumbers aren't too happy about it, but I figured I would show you guys anyways, because I think I might actually get some production out of it this year, and I'm super excited about it. Coming in, I have snow peas. The second row that I planted has just started to come up. I'm probably going to plant a third row, and I will freeze majority of them for preservation, I guess. And then I have head lettuce coming up, although it's taking a really long time to grow, so I don't really know if it's going to do much. Maybe it's too sandy of a soil, I don't know. Then we have green beans. I just planted a few extra not all that long ago, and they just started coming up. I've got a couple rows of them all along the back up here. These are all just regular peas, like sweet peas. And so I've planted 2 rows of them, and the second row just started coming back up. I can't tell you what's what out of these yet. Gibson knocked over my tray when I was starting them inside, and so I don't know what they are, except for that some will be cabbage, some will be Brussels sprouts, and some will be broccoli. Yeah, I have no clue. This is a watermelon. My other ones didn't make it. I think it's because we had frost. There's a French lady up the street, and she gave me a few like cloves of garlic that had already started growing. She said I should be able to get like small cloves out of it this year. My tomatoes have come up no problem, and they've been doing okay despite some of the frost. Like, I know there's some yellow leaves, but for the most part, they've been holding up. My cucumbers haven't been growing as much. I planted two different types of cucumbers, pickling cucumbers and like regular, like just big English cucumbers, if you will. And then I think that's a cucamelon plant. I'm hoping it is, because I'm really excited to try them. Everybody's raving about them last year. And then I have a patch of carrots that once it gets a bit bigger, I will thin out. And as I come out of the garden, don't mind all of our stuff. It's going to be all reorganized, put back in the shed. I have some pumpkins that have started to come up. Figured they could be fun for Silver and I. And then all here, I have spinach that has come up. And then all over here, I have romaine lettuce. I plan to plant second rows of those a little bit later. And then only just a few days ago, all of my potatoes have started to come up. And you can kind of see all the potato plants. They're all starting to come up. And then again, the lady up the street who had given me the garlic gifted me some Jerusalem artichoke. It's basically like a perennial potato. So as long as I leave a couple pieces or a piece in the ground, it should come back every year. So I think what I'm going to plan to do is next year I won't plant potatoes here. I'm just going to leave a few of these left and kind of let it turn into like a Jerusalem artichoke patch, if you will. Because apparently they're really good and they're very similar to potatoes. So I'm really excited to see what they're all about. See, look. They're all coming up. I'm so excited. I hope it works. I'm going to hill them once they get however big they're supposed to be. Bulbs all around the perimeter of my herb garden, if you will. And so all of my onions have started to come up. So hopefully they kind of turn out good this year too. I'm excited. I'm kind of excited to see how it goes. Nothing's come in here yet, or destroyed anything or eaten anything. So far, oh, this is a bigger one. So far, my fence that I built is... We've also made a path to the backwoods that I figured I would kind of show you. I mean, it's not much to see. It's a path in the woods. However, there's all kinds of berries and edibles along the way, which is really cool. This year, it seems to be there's berries everywhere. I've already went and foraged for a bunch of wild strawberries and dehydrated some using some window screens. And like, I put the berries in between, sandwich it together, and then I put it on Silver's trampoline. So the black attracted the heat from the sun and it dehydrated them beautifully. So I'm planning to do that with a lot of the berries that we harvest out of here, because there are raspberries, blackberries, strawberries, blueberries, cloudberries. I don't know. I think there's some Saskatoons. We're not 100% sure yet, but there's so much in here. So I'm hoping to be able to preserve a lot so I don't have to buy much throughout the winter, because Silver loves fruit, and fruit is really, really expensive these days. So look at this. That's a cloudberry. I'm gonna leave it. I don't really like them. I don't mind them. They kind of remind me of oh, what are they called? Almost like pomegranate. Kind of reminds me of that. But you know, I'm not like a huge fan. So I leave them, and then when my friend comes by, she really likes them. And I just let her pick all of them. Or if I know she's coming by, I'll pick a bunch for her and then give them to her when she gets here. So it's kind of like a windy path. However, it's nice and wide, and once we take out some stumps and everything that are in here, we'll be able to get the quad all the way through, which means we'll be able to come in and harvest wood for the winter, and start harvesting wood for multiple winters, if you will, because as we go all the way back, our property just turns into a huge... Oh, look at this. Look at all the strawberries. So good. I'm gonna eat that. Oh my god, they're everywhere. More cloudberries. Those ones aren't ready yet. There's a handful in here. Sweet. That's good to know. Oh, look at them all. I'm gonna have to come back and get some. Oh my god, wild strawberries are the best. Anyways, but we have to take some of these out because we don't want to pop the tires on our bike. But now we're coming out of the damper area, of our property, if you will, because it rises up just slightly. Then it turns into this big, beautiful forest. And I think long term, this is where we're going to be building our house. Is to make a big enough path back here that we will build a tiny home back here once we've cleared a spot and yada yada yada. And we will leave everything up at the front. And then we plan to eventually rent out, or like Airbnb or Hip Camper, I don't know. We'll figure it out. We plan to rent that out to people to come stay and kind of like have an experience, if you will. Or it'll just be kind of like a guest house or a guest spot, or if one of us needs to escape for a bit, you know, something like that. We plan to keep it all set up, and we plan to expand in here eventually. I want pasture and a cow and whatnot. But anyways, let me show you this. This is like a little stream, except there's no water in it, obviously. However, the animals follow it. In the spring there's water, and then it seems to dry up. But all the, see, that's a print. I think that's a moose print. Could be a deer print. Pretty small for a moose print, so it might be a deer print. But they all follow it, and it goes all the way up there and comes out at the front of our property, or at the other side of our property, at the road, which we find pretty cool. We're planning to make trails all throughout the property to kind of access everything. A few weeks ago when we had come back here, we found like this really big rock wall, something that you would have seen in like old fields, because about 30 years ago this used to be all farm fields, according to the old guy up the street. And so you will find things like that in your forest sometimes out here. And there's also an old like skid steer trail, like an old quad trail that they must have used to either originally log it or to bring in equipment, or I don't know, who knows. But we haven't been able to find it since the last time we came in. I figured while they're out, maybe I'll come in, because I'm not getting eaten alive yet, surprisingly. Now that I said it, watch, they're all going to come after me. However, yeah, fuck, here they come. However, we're determined to try and find where this rock wall leads to and see if there's anything cool around it, because a lot of people used to use like their fields and stuff for garbage. So you can find like some really interesting like old things, if you like history. Like I like some history. You can find some really cool stuff sometimes. So I'm hoping that that's the case. I'm gonna head back though, I think, because as I said, now that I mentioned that the bugs aren't getting me, they are starting to get me. Anyway, so I figured I'd come on, show you guys. Hey, look at these weird mushrooms. No clue what that is. I'm not touching it yet. I know there's all kinds of stuff in here. It's really cool. It's like a whole forest of food. Oh look, here's more of them. They're all big and orange. I don't know. But I figured I'd come on and show you guys all of the updates. I post a lot more on my Instagram. Like I do more so like daily to every other day updates of kind of what we're doing, our daily life, kind of stuff like that. So if you want to follow me on Instagram for more frequent updates. However, as we go along and as we upgrade everything and start building more stuff and acquiring more livestock, like goats, I'm hoping for goats next. Once I get my chicken coop built, my next project is to set up a goat pen and a goat enclosure and get some dairy goats. That probably won't be till close to fall, so we'll see how that goes. However, if you want to follow me on Instagram, just go to the link in the description below. I think it's my link tree. I think those are blueberries. It's my link tree, and you can find my Instagram and follow me on Instagram for more frequent updates. See, now the mosquitoes are getting me. Oh no. Yeah, so hopefully I'll be able to post some more updates more frequently. But if not, follow me on Instagram, follow me on some other stuff, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one.